Before Grand Admiral Thrawn returned, Moff Gideon was calling the shots in The Mandalorian. How will the Imperial remnant deal with Thrawn's return? Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching for more details. A compelling theory sets up an Imperial civil war in The Mandalorian and beyond as a result of Grand Admiral Thrawn's return. The Mandalorian and accompanying shows like AHSOKA are setting up the Empire's bid to return to power in the galaxy, and Grand Admiral Thrawn is a big part of that plan. As one of the Empire's most formidable leaders, Thrawn could use his terrifying tactical prowess to undermine the New Republic's efforts to restore peace and freedom to the galaxy. It's why the Jedi Ezra Bridger sacrificed so many years of his life to prevent Thrawn from taking control of Lothal and other planets in the Star Wars Rebels series finale, and why Ahsoka Tano was so determined to stop his return in AHSOKA. Thrawn's disappearance in Star Wars Rebels proved to be the first step in crushing the Empire, but much like Palpatine himself, the Empire never truly disappeared. Scattered across the galaxy is the Imperial remnant, a group of ex-Imperial warlords and dictators who hope to restore the Empire's power and influence. Thrawn, now safely back in Star Wars Prime Galaxy, is meant to lead them to victory. And yet, before Thrawn ever returned, the Imperial remnant had another cunning and conniving member, Moff Gideon. Gideon, however, didn't seem to believe in Thrawn's importance or even his continued existence, and he wasn't the only one. In The Mandalorian Season 3's penultimate episode, Moff Gideon and the other Imperial remnant leaders are discussing Thrawn's possible return during a meeting of the Imperial Shadow Council. It's clear, however, that Gideon and a few of his fellow Imperials disagree that their organization's future lies with Thrawn. Gideon rightly points out that, by that point, nobody knew where Thrawn was, and that there were bigger things to worry about, like amassing resources. Though Gideon is, presumably, dead after the explosion of his Imperial base on Mandalore in The Mandalorian Season 3 finale, the Imperial leaders who agreed with him remain, and Captain Pelayan, who used to work closely with Thrawn, may have a hard time convincing his peers of the Grand Admiral's importance. Grand Admiral Thrawn is a brilliant tactician. He studies his opponents meticulously, learning their cultures, history, and relationships with one another to get under their skin and use that information against them. Using those talents, he discovered one of the rebellion's hidden bases in Star Wars Rebels, continued to decimate the Rebel Alliance's still-growing fleet, and brought pain, anguish, and oppression to every planet he was sent to control, including Ryloth and Lothal. Being able to convince Paradia's Great Mothers to help him secure his future in Star Wars Prime Galaxy and AHSOKA proved his tactical skills too. But being a masterful tactician and warmonger does not make one a cunning politician. That is a different skill entirely. Politics isn't about brute strength or military knowledge. It's about convincing people to agree with one's arguments and goals rather than anyone else's. Moff Gideon possessed that skill. He knew how to sweet-talk people and convince them that his opinion, and his opinion alone, was the right one. This can be seen in the Shadow Council scene in The Mandalorian Season 3, as he slowly brings the other Imperial leaders over to his side, planting the seeds of doubt in their minds. What is really so important about Thrawn, and why wasn't he there already? Why did they need him when there were so many worlds left to plunder? Thrawn's methods are effective. His Imperial service record speaks for itself. But that doesn't mean everyone will always agree with his tactics or his leadership, especially when his leadership could get in the way of someone else's quest for personal glory.